Hey there, Randy Walker, coming to you from Corinth, Mississippi, and just stumbled across this historic site. This was the headquarters of Albert Sidney Johnston, one of the top generals for the Confederate Army during the Civil War. And as the sign said, this was where his headquarters were in advance of the famous Battle of Shiloh, which is just over the border in Tennessee. And at that battle, Albert Sidney Johnston was killed. I believe he was shot in the leg and hit a bad artery, or hit an artery, and he bled to death. He didn't think the injury, the wound was serious, and he didn't put a tourniquet on it, and eventually bled to death. And as the sign says, this is where his body was laid and in state and so forth. So let's take a look at this house. So that's a beautiful, stately house. Not sure if it's a private residence still or if it's just an historic site. Here we go. It's called the site of Rose Cottage. There we go. His headquarters at Rose Cottage after Johnston received a fatal wound at Battle of Shiloh. His body was returned to Corinth, where it lay and stayed in Rose Cottage. The Confederacy suffered great loss with the deaths of its commander, a close personal friend of Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederate States of America. So there we go. Here on a brisk November Sunday morning, and across the street here is a beautiful old church. Look at that view down there. There's actually some nice buildings here. The Corinth's oldest church, erected in 1871. So that's quite nice. I think I'm going to walk down here and just look at this other sign that we have here. Get another look at it. That beautiful building. You know, it's just sometimes you just stumble across interesting, beautiful places. I mean, a lot of people might never think to go to Corinth, Mississippi. And okay, what does this say? The oak home, built in 1857 for Judge W.H. Kilpatrick, used in Civil War's headquarters of General Leonidas Polk, bought in 1866 by Mrs. Thomas Quincy Martin and occupied continuously by her descendants. How about that? Leonidas Polk was, I think, the nephew, or no, not nephew, maybe nephew of James K. Polk, who's my great uncle. So there's a a little bit of a family connection there. How about that? So there's the church again. So anyway, just some history here in Corinth, Mississippi. If you're ever in the neighborhood here, going to the Shiloh battlefield, come take a look.